Okay, so it's on the entry object. Always do. And I'm going to run a flow and set these variables. So string of CAD. I'm going to reference the date, ID, and currency ISO code. So it's either going to be CAD or USD. In the tests I'm doing, I'm using USD. And actually, I'll bring this over so you can see that. So that's process builder, right? So when one of these records get triggered, it's going to run this and set a flow, this flow to run. And the first thing that I do is I use, let's make sure here, so I use everything except for entry ID. So first, second, and fourth to find the appropriate exchange rate, right? So these values, based on these inputs, I create an exchange rate, SVAR, and I just get the ID. That's it. I do another fast lookup on the ID based on the ID that I get from the process builder right here. And I as well put that to an SVAR and get the ID and exchange rate. Then I assign the exchange rate ID to the exchange rate lookup to exchange rate, right? And then I send myself an email just to see what I get, which is going to be right in here. So what my inputs are and what the exchange rate is. Yep. And then I do a fast update. Update the entry assignment. Okay. Not much going on. No thing here is the emails will show up here. So let's just get rid of this. And so these first 4 entries based on April 7th are to look up April 7th rate and should put in ER71. Okay. Save it. Here's my emails. I should get 4 of them. Just wait for a second. And I get 4. So just expand these out, make sure they're all good. Okay, so you can see my inputs. They're always the same. These 3 anyway are always the same. And then these are always different. So XSV, XSW, XST, XSX. But then the exchange, the one it finds it on 1. But it already found it. Why doesn't it show up on the other 4? These are 4 separate flows that are running because this is a single line. There's no loops, there's no nothing. So why, when I have the exact same inputs in all 4, am I only getting 1 with an exchange rate? So again, the inputs are all the same. Currency, target, and date. Right? So the base currency, target currency, and the date. Base currency, target currency, and the date. And I do successfully find the exchange rate ID in one of them, but not the other 4. If I rinse and repeat, let's just get rid of, actually let's bring those back and delete this and do it to the other 3, do the exact same but for 3 of them. So it's not as if the 3 that didn't get it, this is the one that got it this time, had anything wrong with them, because now it's got it, yeah, this one. So you'll see this one got updated. I delete this, like this. You get in the picture now. I update these 2, only 1 will get it. Always ER71. There it is. two of them, and one of them has the exchange rate. And just to prove my point, they all work. Every flow eventually will properly query the exchange rate. Doesn't make sense. You can only ever query and get one record. Or I can create multiple, but this isn't, because we've already tried this where, where there's a flow instead. So as collection, so I can activate this one, get rid of all these. It works quite similarly. I'll show you. A lot of extra stuff in there, but the same result. So I'll save this. Oh, I should get 5 because I didn't delete. Is it 5 or 6? Yeah, 5. So that's from a minute ago, but these last 4. So again, only one of them gets exchange rate. So even if I do it as a collection instead, it's still only, as you'll see, actually there's a, see, this is a count. So in the loop, I'm trying to count. I've got a count that starts at 0 and adds 1. So basically what this is saying, that it's not getting it as a collection, it's getting it as an individual record, because it's always counting to 1, which means when it does a lookup on the entries, it would only ever get 1, right? Because it's one of these, not a collection of these. Same thing with this, it's going to be one of these, not a collection of these. So either or should work. And just to show, it's always 1. I might have deleted 1 by accident. There we go. Yep, it's always just 1 that gets the exchange. What the F?